Gloria Strode, and welcome to Straightforward. Today we are on an awesome adventure. We are at the Columbus Memory Center and we are visiting with the one and only Dr. Liss.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I am just so excited to share this information with the community because my mission always is to educate and inform. And I think this is something that we need to make sure we can spread into some areas that might not be familiar with how important this is. We know about Alzheimer's, but we don't know enough about how we should know or why we should know our number. So I first want to commend you because I always do my own research.
That's what I'm scared about.
Oh yeah, I did my own research and I saw that besides your pristine credentials, that you had actually served on the Morehouse School of Medicine.
With great pride, with great pride.
That's phenomenal.
Well, thank you.
And you're not from the area. We kind of recruited you from another part of the United States and we're happy to have you here. But I was so very impressed with that. And I know that you're a contributor to the institution as well. And
I'm just a believer in the institution. So thank you for bringing that up. It was my honor, not theirs, to sit on their advisory board and to continue to be a financial supporter. I don't know if people realize what a gem Morehouse is. I mean, it is a true gem. The medical care they give and the upper level research that they do,
it's head and shoulders above the rest.
It's head and shoulders.
Right.
It's fantastic. And so for me to be able to say my name is somehow affiliated with them,
yes.
Wow, I'm a lucky guy.
That's excellence. Yeah. It is. And then we think of some of the movie stars that come from your part of the country for their children. Denzel Washington's son played there, and some of the other ones. He was a football player.
Yeah.
So Denzel used to come to Columbus, believe it or not, when we had the classic. The Tuskegee Morehouse
I just have
classic.
to say, I didn't leverage my board position
you
well
should
enough.
Have,
I should have, so I could have met Denzel.
Right, you should have. But anyway, so you're out in the community, and what you're trying to do is help with research and understanding more about Alzheimer's. Everyone knows about the Alzheimer's Association, and they have the Dancing Stars every year, and we give money.
Yes.
But we have to educate some pockets of the community that's really not quite fully on board. So what are some of the things that you're doing?
Yeah, well, let me say, it's not just an issue of research, although we are really proud of our research. And in fact, strangely enough, our little office in the middle of a little city of Columbus is known all over the world for our clinical Alzheimer's research. So
really?
Yeah, I sit on boards all over the world. I just was on one this morning for an hour Zoom.
Okay.
And so Columbus, amazingly, is at the center of the focus of the world's effort to defeat Alzheimer's disease. So I'm really proud about that. Thank you for mentioning that.
Yes.
But it starts out with Alzheimer's care. And so we also are very prideful of giving the best possible Alzheimer's care, memory care to people that are worried about Alzheimer's disease. And it is as if you were to look at society in general, that nobody has taken this disease seriously enough. But the reason why I'm so thrilled to be on with you today, and thank you for having me on, is that we see, just like in many things, unfortunately, a tremendous disparity in care and a tremendous disparity in equality of care.
Right.
And we are trying to stamp that out. One of the reasons why I felt so fortunate to sit with Morehouse physicians and their administrators and such is because they help to educate me, I'm helping to educate them.
You have to pay it forward and pass it on, and that way we leave no one behind.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And in my other life, I was a social worker for many, many years when I was still 20. But I've heard people in families, in casework in different areas, they would refer, instead of saying they had dementia, they would say, well, my mind is slipping a little, so we have to train family members and the community. So when they start hearing those types of things, and those are cultural differences, they won't say, oh, well, I have dementia. They'll say, well, my mind is slipping a little, You know, we have to be in tune to that so we can get people in to see you and the folks they need to see so we can slow that down.
Yeah, you know, you've hit on a point that I mentioned quite a bit, actually. There's an old movie, cute little movie, when Matthew Broderick, another movie star, right, was very young, and it's called Brighton Beach Memoirs. And I always remember that movie because in that movie, his aunt, I think it was his aunt, had cancer. Every time they said the word cancer, he would have to whisper it, because you weren't allowed to say cancer out loud.
Right.
You had to be ashamed to have cancer. Maybe cancer was contagious, so nobody would visit you.
Exactly.
So he said, my Aunt Millie has cancer.
Right.
And I think we're still in this focus where if you're worried about your brain, you have to whisper it, or you have to hide it, right?
Exactly. We don't want people to know that.
We don't want people to know that.
Right.
And you started out this program mentioning the memory number. And so I want you to know this is a service that we gave back to Columbus. When I moved here in 1995, I was so fortunate because I never had to spend one single penny on advertising. There weren't enough neurologists. People came to me. I had probably a 3 or 4 month wait as soon as I got here. So it was really kind of easy to start a practice. Now that I've been established a long time and I really just want to give back to the community.
Right.
That we developed here at the Columbus Memory Center, the memory number. It's the world's first and only vital sign for the brain.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And so we
are trailblazers.
We are trailblazers. And I say that with great pride, but not arrogance. We are trailblazers.
Exactly. We have to own it.
Yeah.
All of our accomplishments. Yes.
And so I want to say, and I want to know that the mayor, the city council, I got to mention Pop Barnes.
Oh,
you
know, he's a nurse at heart.
He is.
He's down for everything that's about good health.
Pops has been so good to us. By the way, he's my uncle.
You've adopted him.
Yes, I've adopted him. I've tried to make him adopt me as his nephew.
Right.
Yeah, we're working on that a little bit. But we've been working on a project called the Columbus Memory Project. So the mayors and Mayor Henderson and Mayor Tomlinson have been fantastic as well. Pop Barnes. So we joined with them. We joined with the State Alzheimer's Association to offer every person that wants, and we're really targeting seniors, an opportunity to get their memory number whenever they want, as long as we're here, for free. No doctor, no appointment, no cost.
So they don't need a referral. They just have to call your office.
Don't call. Walk in.
Really?
Yeah, don't call. We don't want the call.
Wow. That's very convenient.
Yeah.
Because someone could be in the area, maybe at Sam's or Lowe's, and you're very convenient here.
We are. By the way, we're Metro bus line number 10 is right outside our office. Okay. So for those people who don't have a car,
Metro bus line number 10.
Yeah, come on.
So they don't need an appointment. They can come in.
Just walk in, say, I want to take my memory number.
And get the memory number. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take our first break, go to our sponsors, because I don't want us to lose any of this great stuff, and then we'll be right back.
All right.
All right. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. Straightforward is brought to you by State Senator Ed Harbison, serving the citizens of Georgia's 15th Senatorial District and on the front lines for veterans every day. Progressive Funeral Home, family owned and operated since 1952. The George Ford legacy of high standards continues today in the compassionate and professional services provided. A touch of dignity for those who care. Progressive Funeral Home, 4235 St. Mary's Road, trusted by generations. Charmaine K. Crabb at Remax Champions Realty, 4800 Armour Road. As an associate broker of residential sales and property management, Charmaine takes your business personally. It's not about finding a dream home, but finding a home that is perfect for you. Call Team Crabb today at 706-392-6116. And welcome back to Straightforward. I'm continuing this very important conversation with Dr. Liss. Dr. Liss, before we went to the break, I know you have so much great stuff we want to make sure we share with the audience, but I want us to touch on why families need to be proactive.
Yeah. And
we don't need to wait keeping secrets, because it really could cost a parent or a loved one their life.
Yeah, and their fortune, their life, their dignity.
Right.
So knowledge is power, right? Knowledge is power.
Yes.
So putting one head in the sand and ignoring something, if I have a cavity and I don't go to the dentist, it doesn't make the cavity go away, right?
Exactly.
And so this is an issue, and it's very, very common. It's in my own family. So I mean, in other words, that we all try and hide from it, because nobody wants to believe that we are sick or one of our loved ones is sick.
Exactly.
So, but we now have gotten to the point in society where people do get their blood pressure checked, they do check their cholesterol, breast exams, things like that. What I'm trying to add is a check for the most important organ in the body, the brain, right?
Which works everything.
Works everything. Everything
Right.
is the brain. And so the reason why we developed the first ever vital sign for the brain in the whole world is because we want Columbus to be the brain healthiest city in the whole world and teach the rest of the world how to do it.
Wow.
And it's really important. And I will tell you that I've learned a lot from this as well. When I initially designed this, my thought was, well, we will find Alzheimer's disease at its very earliest, because if people start getting a memory number yearly, they'll start to see if it starts to fade.
Right.
And so that was my initial goal. And
That's like men with the whatever.
PSA, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
PSA with men.
Yeah,
Right.
that's exactly right. But it's even more important than that. There's two other things that have really come across that are important. One of those things is that people worry about their minds, right? So
Yes.
seniors worry about their minds. They don't necessarily tell their families, they
Right.
don't even tell their spouses,
Exactly.
but they're worried,
Oh,
right?
yes, yes.
And so if they take a memory number today and they check it each year, then when they have one of those days where they forgot something, they just cannot believe they forgot, and now they get all the shivers up their spine that maybe they have Alzheimer's disease.
Exactly.
They come in, take the memory number, they compare it to the one they got 5 years ago. If it's about the same, they go, whew,
Exactly.
it was just a bad moment, right?
Exactly.
So the first thing is it gives reassurance to seniors that they're still fine, all right?
Right.
The second thing, which was very shocking to me, I shouldn't have been shocked, you're always learning in life, right?
Exactly.
Is that a large percentage of the people that come and take their memory number have impaired numbers, but it has nothing to do with Alzheimer's disease.
Oh,
And it's,
thankful.
yes,
Thankful for that.
yes, but imagine that if you were once a runner and now you're only walking a block, right? And before you start running, you would
Right.
go and get it checked out, right?
Exactly.
But for people in their thinking, when it's insidious, when it's slow, when it's coming slowly at a time, they don't recognize that they're not as sharp as they were, or they don't want to face it they weren't as sharp as they were before. So then they get their memory numbers and they see that it's slipping, and they go get it checked out by the primary care doctor or come to us, whatnot.
Right.
And we say, oh my gosh, well, you're on medicines that make you a little less bright.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, you're not valuing sleep. You have sleep apnea. You have
Yes.
depression. You have
Right.
anxiety. You have
Yes.
pain syndromes. You have 100
All
things
of
going
that
on.
impacts.
And
memory.
1,000 other things,
Right.
right? And so we point out to them the things that could make them sharper, and then it's in their power whether or not they want to make those changes to think more sharply. So when we look at it, we might be able to find Alzheimer's early, we hope to.
Yes.
We are going to give reassurance to people who are the worried well.
Yes.
And we're going to be able to detect people
The
who are
worried well.
the worried well,
Okay,
right?
I probably fit in that category.
Yeah, hopefully you do, because that means
No,
that you take
because-
your healthcare seriously.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because if I'm having a hot flash night, because I'm a mature girl over 25,
Yeah.
then I didn't sleep real good.
Right.
So the next morning, I'm like dragging, like I had a hangover.
Right.
Right.
Right, so you wouldn't be thinking as well.
Yeah, right. So I'm not as sharp.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then the other issue is to detect for these people that they aren't, and what can they do to make it better, right? That we see that all the time.
Right.
That's the majority of people who don't score well on their memory number have completely correctable causes for it.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes. So that takes the fear out.
Yes.
So when you go out to the community, because I know you have a lot of events coming.
We do.
Some in-house, you got some things you're going to be doing out in the field. That is one thing that I want you to share.
I'll do it.
Because people are afraid. And so you got to make it like it's okay.
Yeah.
Because it could be like me, the night of the hot flashes.
Yeah.
You know, and so I was just dragging and I forgot I was supposed to go to the bank. Then the bank had closed, and the next day I'm right back because I had a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
So-
So imagine the person who has a little bit of depression, a little bit of anxiety, maybe some sleep apnea. You choose the thing, and they don't know. It's not so obvious to them that they have a reason, right?
Right.
And they just live that way, and that's what we see all the time.
Really?
I always tell people, look, go get your depression taken care of, and you'll be back to being Einstein, right? You know,
Right.
that happens every single
Right,
day.
and especially with grief.
Yes.
Right, and
Sure.
so if you've gone through a loss and that kind of thing, because I've had my share, my father passed away, and it was like I was in a cloud.
Yeah.
And then one day, after enough time where I thought I could face not being the daddy's girl anymore, then I was
You're
back
always
to
daddy's
my,
girl.
I always daddy's girl, but he's not on this
Yeah.
side with me. But then I was able to function better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So those are those things that you will be able to point out
Yeah.
when you have your town halls, when you have your community outreach activities. with our seniors, and that's a lot of stuff you have coming up.
Yeah, and when we care for people just, coming in, and so if they get a memory number, what happens is we will send them the results either by email or mail 2 to 3 weeks after they take their memory number, right?
Okay.
And then it's between them. In other words, we're not going to reach out to them and say, go do this.
Okay.
This is a service
So
we're
you're
offering
giving
the
them an
community.
assessment.
We're giving them an assessment, and we don't want to pressure them to do anything. We just want them to know. We do give them a letter that kind of explains what the number means, what it could mean, and encourage them if it's low to go see their primary care doctor or come in. But we're not going to hassle
And
anybody.
that's free.
That's all free.
We're doing that for free.
For free.
And we don't have to have an appointment.
Nope.
We
Walk
can
in.
take bus number 10 of Metro.
That's right.
And we can walk in, and the staff is ready to receive.
Bring a busload. Bring 50. Yeah.
Yeah, whosoever will.
That's right.
And they're going to be able to get that done.
Yeah.
Then you'll provide the results within 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, probably 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay, and then they can take it to their primary care physician.
If they want to. Otherwise, they can just put it in a file, take it again 6 or 12 months later, and make sure it's the same or better, right? So let's say that they were going through some hormonal therapy, right?
Right.
And trying to make themselves feel better. They took the test, they got a score, they feel like they're doing better because their doctor's done right by them. Come in, take it again, get another number, and they can match. And they go, you know what? It did work out. That was the reason. My number is better. I no longer have hot flashes, and that was probably it, right? That's
right. Now since you came up with the first memory brain number, I need you to come up with the solution to fix the hot flashes
I know,
for all the girls over 25.
More, I'm telling you,
because it really makes a difference.
It's
and
amazing,
I know that you work with people that have sleep problems, and if you're
Everything
not
under the sun,
sleeping well, it impacts you.
Yeah.
Whether it's sleep apnea or it's the hot flashes or it's
the
breathing.
iPad.
All the iPad. Yeah, people
the
go to bed without the TV.
The dog in the bed. Sorry, all you dog lovers. All of those things.
Right.
Yeah.
So the bedroom is intended for you to rest.
That's right.
And sleep.
Yeah. And people don't take it seriously.
Right. And when you don't, it shows up the next day. It really does.
Yeah. Actually, let me just tell you, just as a sleep thing, it shows up over your lifetime. We know that if you don't sleep well, your immune system doesn't function well. That increases your risk of heart attack, cancer, stroke, Alzheimer's disease. And let me throw this one. I know this is not the segment, Gloria, but we think we now know why people sleep. We never knew.
Right.
Okay. It turns out that during sleep, that's when every cell is producing energy. That's how a cell functions, right?
Right.
If energy is being produced, waste is being made, right? And the waste goes between the cells. It's leached out from the cells between there. It turns out during sleep is when we get rid of the waste.
Wow.
And so if you're not sleeping, you're keeping those toxins in the brain, and that is not going to be a healthy thing.
Okay, see, now we have to pick that up. Okay, so we're going to go to our final break to our sponsors, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back after a word from some of our sponsors. Carter Counseling Services in the White House at the Elms, 1846 Buena Vista Road, providing services to enhance the quality of life for clients by promoting healthy, stable interactions within relationships, counseling support to assist individuals in positive personal growth. Call Mr. Carter today at 706-570-8698. The Miley Agency, 4903 Armour Road. Gerald L. Miley and William Ripsinger have been providing comprehensive reviews and insuring families in Georgia and Alabama for more than 50 years. The Miley Agency will work non-stop to find you the best policy at the best price. You can rest assured that your information is secure, confidential, and protected. Call today at 706-996-2045. The Columbus Memory Center, 7196 North Lake Drive, Suite A, Columbus. Dr. Jonathan Liss is a board-certified neurologist and sleep specialist committed to battling Alzheimer's by preserving independence, offering you the opportunity to get your memory number for free, the only vital sign for brain health. Call today at 706-327-4000 or visit columbusmemorycenter.com. Roz Cafe and Catering Services. Choose Roz as your personal chef, knowing every dish is prepared with attention to the finest details and extra care. She will make your next event one to remember with 2 convenient locations to serve you: 390 Batzel Avenue, Fort Benning, and 3418 Buena Vista Road. Visit rozcafe.com. Welcome back to Straightforward. We are continuing this awesome conversation with Dr. Liss. He has so much important information to share. Got so many projects going where he can help us, to help the seniors in our community, those in our family, and this is all important information. I know that you understand, because we had it in a sidebar conversation, that a lot of folks don't trust the government.
Right.
We had the Tuskegee experiments. We had experiments where women of color were being sterilized, so they didn't have kids. You know, share with us.
Horrible things.
Yes, horrible things. Share with us what will be happening in the series of town halls that you will be having going forward.
Well, Gloria, thank you for asking about that. And I just want to say that we feel very honored to have a good trust with minority communities here. So the scourge of the inequity in healthcare is also in research. If you saw, there was a drug that was released, it had a lot of controversy and it really, in the end, won't be available, but there was a drug released in January for early Alzheimer's disease. And if you look at the racial mixture in there, it was 74% white.
Okay.
It was 10% Asian, which means both, you know, Oriental Asian and Indian Asian.
Right.
It was 3% Hispanic and not 1% Black.
Oh, I can believe that.
It's stunning, right? Now, here at the Columbus Memory Center, our enrollment tends to be between 19 and 24%. So much better than the national average. Not as good as we should be, frankly, but much better than the national average.
Well, that's why you're doing all of these other community outreach.
It is, and so we've been recognized throughout the nation for that, and they want us to help teach them how to do a better job. And so we are trying to create a better program. On July 8th from 2 to 4 o'clock here at the Columbus Memory Center and also on Facebook Live, we have another free thing. Okay, and this is a town hall where we're going to start out. We're going to do 4 of these. The first one is going to talk about the Tuskegee experiment, this horrid thing, talk about some other injustices, but then more importantly, talk about all of the safeguards that have been put in place to make certain that people like me can never do anything like that ever again.
Right.
And I'm inviting everybody to come.
So we have checks and balances now, where people just can't experiment.
I want people to come with their questions. I want people to challenge us. I want people to debate me. We're gonna go through it.
It's gonna be an open session.
Open session.
It's not a
unvarnished.
lecture.
Not
It's not a lecture.
Not a lecture.
See, a lot of times people don't want to go because it's like being in college.
Yeah.
You know, the professor is standing there and it's not engaging.
Right.
But this is going to be an open session where you will be able to share information back and forth.
We will have fun. Let me just tell you, we'll have fun.
Okay.
So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna have Dr. Farron Epps, who is a Emory University African American physician, who is also in this outreach. We met through the Alzheimer's Association, and I said, Dr. Epps, I need you.
Yes.
And my response was so shocking. She said, no, I need you.
Right.
I go, what do you need me for? She's developed a program called ALTER, which reaches into predominantly Black churches to teach about Alzheimer's disease, to get them to take the disease seriously so that people can get help early.
Right.
And she said to me,
so we won't keep saying, well, her memory is slipping a little. Yeah, we got to move away from that.
We got to move away
because that's a safety issue. You know, we had a sidebar about people with adult children living in other places and their mom and dad still driving the car. They're home, they're turning on the stove, they can't remember. I mean, that could really end up very tragic.
Yeah, and let me say this, that my job, I say this every time I meet a new family, my job is to maintain dignity, okay, and maximize independence while at the same time maximizing safety. So we're going to look at the things and talk with the family and the patient, of course, patient-centered. This is the leader of the family, and we're going to do everything possible to make certain that person remains the leader of the family.
Right.
So that's what we talk about.
Not to take away their
Not
dignity.
to take away.
That's why people hide a lot of
Absolutely.
things, because they don't want to lose their
So
position.
if we're worried about driving, we're going to arrange for a driving test. We're not going to just say no driving. We're going to arrange for a driving test. If, there's all kinds of electronic devices that are inexpensive now that can help people stay in their home, that can stay independent. We talk about all those kinds of things. Yes. But going back to this outreach that we're going to do. So Dr. Epps has developed a program called ALTER to reach into predominantly Black churches.
Faith-based community.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And she said that she's having troubles getting into Black churches in Columbus. I said, that's impossible. She goes, it's not possible. I said, well, I know everybody. So I'll get you into the churches. You teach me your program.
Right.
So she's going to come and be with us for the first one. The second town hall, which we haven't set the date yet, she's going to lead that one. She's going to talk about her program called ALTER.
Okay.
We're going to have a third one. I forget the title of it, but the fourth one, we're then going to invite the mayor, the city council, whoever wants to come, because we want to create a political movement to make certain that it doesn't stop there, that we keep moving forward so that minorities are equally represented in research. Because if minorities are not in research, the outcomes will not represent their community, right?
Exactly.
So we got to have everybody
And you got to
participate.
have a good sample size.
Got to have a good sample size.
Because you were referring and said there were no African Americans, and in my other life and working with grants and things like that, the sample size really makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference.
And if you're gonna be using that information on the broader
Yeah.
scale. So again, they can come, get the memory number without an appointment.
No appointment, no charge, no cost, no doctor, no appointment. Just come in.
They don't need a referral.
No referral.
It's free
It's free.
and no appointment.
No appointment.
And you can do that Monday through Friday
That's right.
from
9 to 5.
9 to 5, okay? And then within 2 weeks to 3 weeks, they get that assessment back.
That's right.
They decide whether they want to put it on in the file or go to their primary care physician,
That's right.
take a look at what it might be. You might have been a night of hot flashes.
That's
Not
right.
really, or it might have been several weeks of grief.
That's right.
Because grief is a very serious
is
thing. And I
serious.
mean, and it's different with everyone.
That's right.
Right, and so all of those things, and then you used a term that I said fit me, where you're well, but what was that?
The worried well.
The worried well, yes, yeah, and then we can understand what it was that
Yeah.
impacted the number.
That's right. So when a group of older folks gather, with the pandemic, there's not a lot of
Right.
gathering going on, but they're gathering, having a cup of coffee at McDonald's or whatnot, right? And they're sitting around, and one of the conversations that always comes up is my memory slipping, right?
Yes, yes.
And if you take your memory number every year, you'll know that despite everybody getting a little concerned, that your memory is not slipping.
Exactly, and so you can track it for yourself. The first town hall is July 8th.
That's
it's
right.
free, and it's
From
right
2 to
here.
4,
from
right
2 to
here,
4,
or on Facebook Live, whatever they
Okay,
like.
Facebook Live, and what is the address here?
7196 North Lake Drive. We're right next to the Social Security office, Metro Bus line 10.
I wanted you to say that, right next door to the Social Security office. If you don't have a car, Metro Bus 10,
That's right.
they can do that. If they can't do that, they can have, if they're not technology proficient, have their children or grandchildren.
Yes, we need the children.
Great
yes.
grand to set them up on a computer so they can do that as well. And I know we talked about it in the sidebar, you're gonna go out in the community and do some outreach.
We're always doing that.
Always. So I just want to thank you so much for having us. I am very excited, and I will keep pushing it out on social media and anybody that will listen, because this is good stuff, and we need to get into the community, into the families, into the areas where we're lacking, and get the message out. And I
You
thank
are the
so
best. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. This has been straightforward. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Until next time, be blessed. So we'll just
I love it.